And it's Eurovision time in Moscow with the first semi-final underway at the moment. 18 countries are competing, but only 10 will make it through to the finals. RT's Martin Andrews joins us live now from Moscow's Olympijski Stadium. Hi there, Martin. So how is the contest going so far?
Well, as you said, yes, there are 10 countries going forward to the contest on Saturday. They'll be joined by another 10 countries from the semi-finals, which are taking place on Thursday. As for the organisation and the infrastructure, well, I can say I'm very, very impressed. They really are doing a good job here in Moscow. Behind me is a whole row of taxis. They're waiting for the thousands of fans that are coming out shortly. And also the metro, the government have organised that the metro will also be kept open till 2:30 tonight. And on the contest, it will be open till 3:30, so an amazing job there. As for accommodation, well, it also has proved a bit of a problem. Moscow is one of the most expensive cities in the world. I'm joined by Vincent Bitlock, one of the managers of some bed and breakfasts here in Moscow. Vincent, thanks for joining us here for the Eurovision night. Tell me about your involvement with getting people in their beds and accommodation.
Well, we had a lot of people coming for the football games, and when Moscow do put on such a big event like this, we also see a huge upswing in bookings coming to our bed and breakfasts. And we're happy to provide very economical bookings to people. And we've even started with homestays. So people come, we get very busy with our bed and breakfast, so we place them out in apartments all around the town, in private apartments, and we even put people around the corner over here at the Russian hotel, a 2-star Soviet hotel.
Because one of the main problems is that you've got sort of the higher end 5-star luxury hotels, but they can cost up to $1,000, where most people can't afford them. Or you've got the opposite, where you've got dormitories where it's sort of, you know, student and sort of $20, but you offer a service which is somewhere in between.
Well, we try to offer a middle-range service, a little bit below the 3-star and a little bit above the 1-star accommodation. It's not luxury, but on the other hand, for Moscow, it's a very pricey alternative for what they can afford. The tickets were going on sale for quite a lot of money, and to catch flights in the middle of the crisis and everything, it costs a lot of money to go to such an event.
Of course.
And we just try to actually go for the budget accommodation.
Now also you organise different parties here in the Russian capital, so you obviously know a lot about the social life of an expat. Tell us about what is it like to live in Moscow?
I think Moscow, it's fantastic. It's quite entertaining whenever they do put on such an event. There's a lot of people coming from all around the world, and you do notice it here in Moscow, whereby if you were in London or somewhere else around Europe, you wouldn't notice so much an upswing of tourists. But as Russia is just, and Moscow is just such a small but large capital. It's small for tourists, but it's large. It's just 50 million people living here. We do notice when people come, and in terms of clubs and restaurants getting filled with tourists and visitors, you do notice that there's a lot of people coming to this event.
Sure, but one of the main problems surely about Moscow as a visitor or a tourist or even a participant coming to Moscow for the first time is it's expensive. You know, some of the main hotels, even just the average hotels, can charge $20, you know, £15 or whatever for a drink. Surely that's difficult if you're here for the first time.
Well, it's not really the place you would visit if you're on a budget. Like, we went out last night to this, well, it was a new restaurant, and it was kind of fun, but honestly, a glass for $50, a glass of wine for $50, that's not really a budget city, I would say.
But is that changing? Moscow has an aspiring middle class. Is it slowly becoming a cheaper place, or is it just onwards and upwards with the high costs?
No, it's not. It's becoming more and more expensive, actually. The crisis hasn't really hit them yet. I'm sure maybe it will level out the prices throughout, but people coming to this event, well, they have to have some money on their pocket to travel here.
Right. Well, good luck with all your bookings this week. I'm sure you'll be very busy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, there you go. Moscow is in full swing with the Eurovision Song Contest antics. I'll be reporting from the semi-finals on Thursday and also from the contest on Saturday. But who will win? Who knows? I've heard from a few different fans and people that Norway, Bosnia, Estonia and Lithuania may be in the top few. Unfortunately, it's not the UK. They were last year, and they were also, unfortunately, they've come second a staggering 15 times. But there's also one country I personally would like to see win, and that's Portugal, because they've never won at all. Karen,
thank you very much, Martin, and your guest, Vincent.